What's up, your girl Sakina. I guess y'all wonder why I'm wearing this mask, because I'm leaving the hospital. 2.5 weeks ago, I'm gonna make this fast. My husband, my kid's father, who we live with, had COVID. We caught COVID. I'm testing negative, but he was still positive. That was 2.5 weeks ago. Before he went into the hospital, he had his state of mind. He went in for COVID. When he came, he stayed in 5 days. When he came out, he didn't have his state of mind. He was delusional. Now, he had his state of mind of having an understanding. It took him a minute to know his birthday, his kid's birthday, what year it was, and all that other bullshit. He wasn't functioning right. And I'm not going to say his state of mind completely left. He wasn't functioning right. It took him a minute or two to answer questions. 5 days of it. Remind you, I have 2 boys. I had COVID, and I still had to go back and forth to dialysis. Now, we are quarantining until September the 28th. I shouldn't even be out. Within those 5 days, he did nothing but lay down, went back and forth to the bathroom. Of course, I had to take care of him, and delusional. When I asked him questions and stuff, he was in and out. He lost his appetite and stuff. So I said, nah, let's go. We went back to the hospital. He was out. He went in for 5 days. He came out for 5 days. We went back. I took him back to the hospital Monday to just pass. I said to the doctors the same thing I said to y'all. He went in with his state of mind. Now he came out with being delusional. They said it could be his liver because he got liver cirrhosis. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Cirrhosis of the liver because he drunk a lot. I said, okay. I said, can that mess with his state of mind? That said, it can with the medicine they gave him from COVID. I said, I never heard of that. I said, okay. So he's on restricted. I can't go see him. But I do call. And I don't get the answer a lot. But he calls me constantly. He could be a nag. He's 60 years old. He can be a nag. He's walking. He's still healthy. He retired in 2017 from public work. So, you know what I mean? I got my place. He got his house. He got grown kids and all that. But, you know, he could be a nag. But I told the nurses, he keeps calling me and he's telling me the IV that's in his arm, when it's done, it keeps beeping and he can't sleep. And I said, he's telling me that he keeps calling nurses, but it's taking him 3 or 4 hours to come in there. And they're not treating him right. He said he feels like getting treated like a dog. And I said, I can't understand that. But I'm going to tell you the reason why this video. Then he called me this morning and told me they called 3 security guards on a COVID patient. I said, well, why did they call 3 security guards? I know you got mouth, John. Why they call 3 security guards on you? He said, because they keep not coming in when I'm calling them. They're not coming in. I told him this and that, and I cursed him out in Spanish and all that. He's Puerto Rican. He cursed him out in Spanish and all that, and they getting me mad. I told him I wanted to leave, and they wouldn't let me leave. So I said, okay, I got my clothes on this morning. I'm just leaving the house, so I'm going to come up there and talk to him. I can't go in your room, but I can talk to him. So I went up there to speak to the nurses, and they talking about some, he wanted to leave, and he had COVID. I said, well, why didn't y'all let him leave? He can sign himself out. I mean, he's delusional, but he still got his state of mind. He got enough state of mind to call me and tell me to come get him, and I could take him to another hospital because I know how y'all get down. So he stood up, they said, oh, no. I said, well, what's the problem? If he wanted to leave, y'all should have said, well, let me call somebody on your phone. He would have told you my name. I'm on his phone, Keena, and I would have came and picked my hubby up, and we would have took him to another hospital. Because at the end of the day, like I said, he's a COVID patient and y'all shouldn't be neglecting him. I told y'all when he first came in here, he didn't have his teeth parade as food. I brung his teeth the next day. Now he wants solid food. I understand when you go to the hospital, you have to ask the doctor. The nurses can't do nothing without the doctor. I want to know what medication y'all putting in him to make him delusional. Because when he came in 2 weeks ago, he had his state of mind. So I'm just leaving the hospital. I'm going to call my husband, see what he want to do. If he want to go to another hospital, we go to another hospital. My whole video is this. Who are we saluting? When them doctors and them nurses on the front line, who are we saluting? Because there's plenty of stories that nurses even say. First of all, before we start, RIP to the doctors and nurses that died of COVID, that went in there and did their job and died, because there was a lot. My heart goes out to them. RIP. Straight up. But what are we saluting? Because these nurses are neglecting these COVID patients. Y'all not going in there because y'all don't want COVID. I can understand that. My husband ain't lying. The head nurse, I just went in there 3 times. I can understand that. I'm not saying y'all lying. but y'all treating the COVID patients a little different because I can understand y'all don't want to take it back to y'all family. If that's the case, go to another floor or don't go home. Don't work, because that is your job. That's your job. And we stand up here saluting the nurses and we saluting the doctors. And how we know how they treating our family member when we can't go up and see them because they restricted with COVID. Because when I went through this with my mother, she didn't have COVID, but she died. Y'all know she died a couple years ago, 2013. But me and my brother, we was there to let them know you will not treat my mother anyway, and she had her state of mind. Trust me. But you have to go to the hospital with your family member, your loved one, let them know we're there. What y'all doing? What medication? Let me speak to the doctor, because they'll treat them like shit. Yes, I did go up there. I said, stop the parading this food. Make it solid food. Let me speak to the doctor. Give me a list. Or we're going to take them to another hospital. And I'm going to report y'all to the state of the board. Because if you do it to one COVID patient, you're doing it to all of them. Now, I know he's delusional, but he's still a little bit out his state of mind. And he's telling me he's calling for the nurses to come in, and y'all taking 4 or 5 hours to come in, and then y'all giving him attitude. So who are we saluting when we say salute the nurses on the front line? How we know how y'all really treating these COVID patients? Sitting there just letting them fucking die. There's plenty of stories out there like that. My brother know a woman that took the vaccine a month ago. She can't even walk. Says she took the vaccine 4 days later. She was in the hospital. She can't even walk. But we up here saluting the nurses and the doctors. What are y'all really doing? RIP to the ones that passed away from COVID doing y'all job. And I can understand y'all don't want to, but if y'all don't put in a slip and say, we don't want to work this floor, let me work the 3rd floor or 5th floor. Because these COVID people need attention too. And I know he's not the only one. Are y'all neglecting the COVID patients? You don't like to go next to them, then don't do your job. Leave. I believe a lot of COVID patients passed away from being neglected. You will not do that to my hubby. Once again, RIP to the nurses and doctors that did pass away from COVID, going in the room helping. Your girl, Sakina Jones, TV. I'm just venting. I'm just venting. Salutations.